I'm in the huddle with Brady. He comes up, we're in the huddle. He goes, all right, motherfuckers. Like, he's like, dude, it's like, and I'm sitting there, they were just a bunch of rookies. I'm like, oh, like looking around. And he says a play. No recollection of what play was. I have no idea what the play is to this day. At the time, had no idea what I was doing. We're going into the end zone. So it's like, it's like 3rd and goal. We're on the 4-yard line. He says a bunch of stuff. He goes, time, this is our fucking time. Let's go. Ready, break. Run up to the line. I look to my right. I have no idea what I'm doing. Dante Scarnecchia is why he goes, you idiots, just run pass. It's a 3-step. So they hike the ball, boom, boom, take my sets, and I get out. And they're like, how was that? And I was like, bro, I don't remember a fucking thing he said. Hey, I don't.
We'll see how it turns out. You're always so positive. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever.
I'm fortunate to be able to do a podcast with my man today.
That's true.
Dude, I ain't got to worry about no clients right now. I'm just here.
You don't have to sit so close to me either.
When we get like over here?
Yeah.
Is it widescreen?
It is very widescreen.
Can you see
I mean, probably not. I don't.
Is this going to be on the outtakes?
No, this will be in the full video. First question. Ew, what the hell are those shoes that you're wearing? I thought you were an athlete.
These are built for athletes.
How? Because
These
they're
are
convenient.
fancy
You don't have to
Crocs.
think.
These are 1% Crocs.
Do they not teach you how to tie your shoes in Missouri?
I don't waste time on menial subjects anymore. So shoe tying is beneath me.
Okay. I'm glad that's the case. First question. Why'd you leave B&I?
B&I, you know what? I don't think it wasn't something that I didn't like them anymore or I didn't want to be a part of it. It got hard for me to get there at that said time frame. And I would send my coach there as like a sub.
Yeah.
And then I got yelled at by the leader people saying that I can't have someone stand in for me every week or majority of the month. I think they could go like once, maybe twice, but I had to go. And I was like, well, okay, I'll see you guys later. and I just kind of felt bad, but no, it was great. I still keep in contact with a lot of those people and other people from other B&Is that like were up in this area.
Yeah.
I got to connect with them because I sub for some around here. And it was awesome. It was a great experience. Getting down to Austin every day or every week, it was just like a lot.
How far was that commute for you?
I mean, at that time, like 8 a.m., it's a minute. I would have to leave by like 7:10.
God, yeah.
7:15. Like late. If I left at 7:20, I wouldn't get to be in until 8:15.
Yeah. Same for me. I was coming from all the way down south. Traffic got worse and worse. And then they hiked up the price for it. I'm like $1,200 a year. And
I knew that was coming too.
It's not for me anymore. So same with you. I still keep up with a lot of the people there and they're all good people, but I just couldn't make it work for my business and my time anymore.
Yeah.
So this podcast is about interviewing interesting people in interesting industries, doing interesting things. And on this podcast, we'll talk about a little bit about your background, your involvement in football and playing professionally to a degree, and then opening up this beautiful establishment that you've earned and you built with your hard work and sweat. So let's take it all the way back. Where are you coming from? Where were you born?
Well, thank you for coming today, man. I appreciate you. This is awesome. I hail from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
Long way, yeah.
Yeah. What did your parents do for work?
So my mom was a nurse, and my dad is in radio.
Like actual FM, AM
He is
radio?
actually in AM, FM radio. Did that since I could even remember to think.
Yeah.
And he still is currently in radio and media productions, and he's a part of a thing that you'd probably know. So anyway, he's definitely well versed in the podcast, media, radio, all the things, talk shows. Yeah.
What specialty or what line of nursing is your mom involved in?
Well, my mom, my mom passed away when I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And she had breast cancer.
Got it.
Fun fact, the first time I ever shaved my head was for breast cancer awareness. And so it just stuck.
Yeah.
The cancer didn't stick with me, but it stuck with my head. No, so I just don't laugh at that. It's not funny. You're not supposed to laugh at that.
No.
And so my mom battled it for a good 7 or 8 years. And so I guess she first had it when I was probably 8 or 9, right? And
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember what type of nurse she was. I just knew that she was a nurse.
Okay. So I guess would your dad be considered like almost like an entrepreneur, I guess, in a way? Because I don't really see, and this is me maybe being dumb, but I don't see the radio as being so profitable as to where you kind of have to go out and get your own work, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say he's an entrepreneur. Yeah. Definitely didn't make any money.
So there's some commonality there. Yeah,
he definitely definitely worked for he worked for a company called WFLA, which has since been bought out and shut, and then that turned into Clear Channel, and that was bought out and all that in Tampa. He got on board with a really good group of guys. Are you familiar with Glenn Beck?
I've heard of him.
So,
I take a lot of his rhetoric to heart.
yes, there's a lot of there's
I'm kidding. I don't.
Definitely in the political realm right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very I just kind of I'm not very political.
No.
But when you say, hey, you know who Glenn Beck is? Someone's either gonna be like, dude, that guy, or they're gonna be like, dude, I follow him everywhere, right? So it's just kind of like you never get someone who's like, oh, he's okay, cool.
Sure, yeah.
So, but I've known Glenn, Pat, Stu, Jeffy. Those are like the 4 horsemen of what started the GB TV, all that stuff.
Yeah.
My dad is Jeff Fisher.
Got it.
And so I've known those guys since I was super young. So I don't know Glenn as I do know him as a political mogul, Mr. All right wing, all that. I know him as the guy who was cool to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Family's great. Was awesome to my dad. Took him from Tampa to New York to Dallas. When Glenn left, right, to go to New York, I was a junior in high school and I was getting recruited. And my dad said, I can't pull my son from school because my mom had passed, so I live with my dad. And Glenn was like, whenever he goes, hit me up. You always get a job with me. And when I went to Mizzou, my dad called and he came.
Wow.
So, I know him as an honorable guy, helping out and all. So that's how I know him.
Yeah.
But anyway.
that's interesting because
for sure
we would have never uncovered that story until
yeah.
just now. And more importantly, are you comfortable with that story going on the video?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, no.
Okay, so football.
You can ask me anything, baby. I'll tell you whatever you want. I signed the waiver.
This whole thing about football, when did it come into your life?
So I was not allowed to play football until I was 14. So I played
eighth grade?
Yeah. Basically freshman year of high school.
Wow.
I did play a little 8th grade. That's when I kind of technically started, but I don't consider starting until I was a freshman in high school. Really got into it.
Holy smokes.
I played every sport up until then. Every sport you can imagine, I played, excelled at, loved it. Mm-hmm. When I was a freshman in high school, I was playing soccer. Loved soccer growing up. Played that since I was probably 5 years old.
Yeah.
I was playing soccer for the school. A ball got kicked over my head. I turned around and a kid on the other team ran into me and fell over. Got a yellow card. The football coach was out there trying to recruit like a kicker. And he goes, who in the hell is that kid? So freshman year in high school, I'm 6'4", 220 as a freshman, right? Wow. And he goes, who is that? And my dad said, that's my boy, right? And so he goes, you should have him come out and play ball. And so I started playing football, and it just kind of went from there.
Now, starting late in high school, that's considered late nowadays, right?
In today's world,
yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Wow.
And I'm disgusted to say that, but yeah.
Throughout your high school career there, was there a proper development of you as an athlete? Like, were there coaches telling you, hey, you need to eat healthy, you need to sleep, you need to work out, you need to do all these things? Or were there just like, go run a mile till I say I'm tired?
Yeah, no, I had awesome high school coaches.
What division? 5A, 4A, 3A?
So in Florida, I went to a private high school.
Okay.
I went to so it was 1A high school, 1A ball. And that was my freshman and sophomore year. My junior and senior year, I went to another private school. And so that was 3A ball. So it's very tiny school ball. I was there at those schools on a quote unquote scholarship. And I'm allowed to say that now because we got dinged for recruiting violations in Florida. So we were banned from the playoffs because me was bussed in along with 10 other black kids come from the south side.
Sure.
And they bust us in to play football, quote unquote. Wow. So, definitely privileged, but kind of not really.
Yeah. That's a lot of impact there.
Yes.
But were the coaches, they were introducing you to nutrition?
To answer your question, yes. I had amazing high school coaches. Chris Aliong, shout out to him. He lives in Fort Worth, Texas now. He was the man, took me under his wing, directed my traffic on where to go. When I was a sophomore, I wanted to play tight end and I wanted to play D end because I love defense. He sat me in a room and he goes, Elvis, you're 6'5", 300 and white. You're playing offensive line. Get over it. You already got like 5 scholarship offers. Figure it out. So he told my dad and myself that. And so ever since then, he led me in the right direction. Carlos Pinto was the man. I actually trained his son online for a little while. He would meet me at the gym every day, 5 a.m. I'd work out with him after school as well, do conditioning. He didn't collect $1 from me. I love that man and his family through and through. He still lives in Florida. He's the man.
That's awesome. What was the feeling of getting all these scholarships opportunities? What did that feel like?
It was awesome. I loved football. I loved training for football. I loved working out. I love working out so much. This has been my career. When I started training 14 years old, I told Carlos Pinto that one day I would own a gym, and here we are. So I've always loved this. I loved every aspect of it. I was a very aggressive kid. And
you don't say. You have a lot of energy right now.
And I definitely needed an outlet to hone it in on. And football gave me the opportunity to hit people and be praised for it instead of being yelled at, right? And so that was, I love to hit. I love contact. I loved being in that environment. I love training. I love just yelling in the rock. I love all of that. Yeah.
That's probably why you're so successful at this right now, owning your own gym. Was there any mentorship of guiding you of like, hey, this is the scholarships that we should look at. These are the schools we should look at because of X, Y, and Z. Or was there any mentorship going through that process?
I would say, Coach Dan Mancuso was my high school football coach for my junior and senior year. He was awesome in recruiting and he helped me a lot in that aspect. Frank Girardi was another one who led me in the right direction. Now, fun fact about Frank Girardi, okay, his son Dave Girardi was my best friend, one of my 3 best friends. He is the quarterbacks coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. Plug Mahomes right there, right? So tag and like and share. So anyway, he helped me a lot. He was awesome. I used to go to his house every weekend. We'd play and then I'd go there and they had a hot tub. We'd sit in a hot tub, we'd get lunch and we'd watch film. And so Dave and I would watch a lot of films. So I got a lot of mentorship from him. And then Carlos Pinto, that guy that I mentioned, he helped me a lot too. So that was, definitely the 3 dudes that helped me out a lot.
What were the level of intensity during the high school games? Was it like, this is everything in your entire life? It all is on, like, everything in your entire life means it's in that field right now. That's the only thing that you should care about. Was that the type of...
That was literally the vibe up until I was probably a junior in college.
Okay.
Football was everything. Yeah. If I did not win, I sucked. If I didn't play football, I would die. The only way I could find love from my peers and family at the time was to be a football player.
Yep.
That was 100% what it felt like until about junior year in college.
Now, is that a right way to go about it? Because it's a small chance that a high school football player will ultimately make the NFL. I think the good thing about where I came from and when I played football was like the hard work that you put into this sport is something that's going to translate over to your adult life. Mm-hmm. Like we're a small town in West Texas. They knew none of us were going pro. Oh, yeah. They were just like
that's varsity blues country.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. R.I.P. Another one.
I know.
Another one.
Man.
Okay.
Vanderbeek, my boy. But it just seemed they did a good job of like, hey, you need to work hard at these drills, not because it's going to serve you well in the game. While yes, that may be true, but it's going to serve you well in your adult life. Mm-hmm. So Was there any of that aspect when you were playing in high school? Like, hey, this is like maybe the NFL might not be the ultimate goal, but this will serve you, like this work ethic will serve you best in your adult life.
You know, looking back on that, I'm sitting here trying to really like piece it together.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think in anything I've done in my life, I don't think there was ever a time of where I would say, I'm not going to make it. So when I played other sports, when I played football, when I went to college, when I played professional, like I didn't ever say to myself, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like when I started this business, when I started the gym, I never said like, that's not going to work.
Right.
Now with that being said, right, I put a lot of my self-worth into football.
Yeah.
And what happens is a lot of guys, when that gets taken away, not so good.
Right.
And so what happened in my realm was I was at the University of Missouri. I have my undergrad and my master's from the University of Missouri. My master's degree is in education of counseling psychology, emphasis sports psych, positive coaching, positive sports psychology. That is what my master's degree is in. And I helped launch that at the University of Missouri. So shout out Dr. Rick McGuire, who trained a bunch of Olympians and track out all that stuff. He was the ringleader on the positive mindset. Shout out to Coach Pat Ivey, was my strength and conditioning coach at University of Missouri. Still talk to him to this day. That man will still call me. We'll still chat every quarter probably. And he's at University of Louisville right now. He's the head of their human resource department, does all that for their, all of it. And so those two guys really got me ingrained in the positive psychology. I don't want to say indoctrinated the team, but that they started doing seminars and talking to guys about being positive with yourself, being positive with sports. I loved it. I didn't know how much I loved it until my junior year. I was team captain, all SEC, was rated out to be a 2nd to 4th round draft pick. I was, the man. Mm-hmm. During camp, that had my first major injury. I've had probably like 5 surgeries before those. I tore my patella tendon on my left knee. It just buckled, fell right over, right then and there. Now, this is back in 2011. Mm-hmm. They didn't give out 6 years like candy like they do here. I was the first of 2 that ever got a 6-year up until I was the second person to ever get granted a 6-year. So I didn't think I'd be able to play anymore. I was already a 5th-year senior.
Yeah.
And so I had to apply, get it, and I never thought I was playing. I cried. I lost my self-worth. I didn't think I was worth. And then I got into this program, and I was like, wow, I don't have to be the football player that's all I do. I am Elvis, and I happen to play football. But I'm also a man, I'm also a man with family values, also a man that believes in God. I'm also a man that wants to be a good person in society. Like I'm all these other things. I don't just have to be a football player. And I think that moment, so then I had another season, right? And that really helped me mentally. I was more laid back. I developed more confidence. I didn't give a shit because it was just like, man, I knew, listen, I know what I'm good at. I know that I know the ins and outs of it. I love to struggle. I love to play the game. I'm just going to go play it because I love it. And man, that was the greatest season of my life. I performed the best. I played the best. I was the most relaxed. The easiest classes were then because, and when you get your master's degree, they don't ask you, don't have to take algebra. It's all like your thesis statement. So like they just said, what do you think? And I just told them what I think. And then can you back it up? And I'll just spew some shit. And it was right. That's what a master's degree is. So it's just kind of like, I loved what I did and man, it was the best time. And so I will always be forever grateful because that whole thing, not only is that indoctrinated into how Better You performance started with Better You's mission statement, but I also run a section of counseling for high school and middle school athletes called Iceberg Performance. And it's all about mental conditioning and positive psych and all that. So like all of it is ingrained into what I do today. And so love it.
Yeah. We'll touch back on that a little later.
I know that was a lot.
No. That was going from A to Z real quick. So talk about the difference in playing ability from high school to college. Mm-hmm. Where was the level of that at?
Yeah, so my high school, like I said, man, I went to it was a 3A high school. So I coach a bunch of high schoolers now that play 5, 6A high school ball in Texas, and these kids are big. They're bigger than me. Right now, currently, I'm 6'5", 235, 240. When I was a senior in high school, I was 6'5", 310, 315-ish, right? And that's what I played at.
Rather large boy there.
Huge, right? Big boy. And so that is what I was. And a 3A I went to St. Petersburg Catholic. So we played other like small time Christian schools. And like these DNs are, 5'10", 180 pounds, little white kids. They're not your typical 6'2", 250 black DN that's here in Texas. It's just a different vibe, right? Yeah. So I was literally dominating every single play, every single down, and for real hurting people. Like for real.
Is that fun?
It was so fun. Listen, this is why I don't have boys, I have all girls. Yeah. I would not let my boys play football because those parents, they signed their waiver and signed their kid up to play that sport. And so there were literally kids that I'd play against that would tap their helmet, like sub me out. I'm done. Yep. I don't want to go anymore. And so I would be pissed if that was my kid. Like, dude, that freaking mongoloid man child out there is just, you're going to let him do that? Like, you know what I mean? And like, I'm playing within the rule. Was never a dirty player. I never talked shit.
I don't think you were.
I just literally would plant you where I wanted you. I didn't start talking shit till college. That was way different. But high school, I just played the game. Okay. And so, yes, it was fun.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like there was similar competitive levels there.
When I was playing,
there
was not. Now, okay. I went to my coach. He said, if you want to get looks by these big time schools, you have to play against better competition. So I went to all the camps. I went to the Nike.com camps, the scout camps. There was a thing called Down and Dirty Lineman Camp in Florida. And I dominated all those too. I went against the best linemen in the state from 5 and 6A schools, dominated against them.
And at that level, did you know that there was going to be bigger kids, more athletic kids? Mm-hmm. Did you understand that? And
yeah, 100%. Okay. I understood that before going into that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that didn't deter you whatsoever.
Nope. Okay. I was like, yeah. So I loved the game. I wanted to go against the best. Mm-hmm. I didn't like beating that kid so much.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't like at a certain point, right? If you're just treating a kid like a rag doll, it's not really fun anymore. No. You want a little competition, right? Yeah. The most competitive people want a little competition. So I was craving that. And so when I went to these things, I'd feel like the butterflies and you get nervous, and these kids are all my height or bigger. Right. And they all weigh more than me. They all have Division I offers. And so I got a lot of slack for not going against good competition. A lot of my bigger offers came from when I went to these camps and performed. They were like, oh shit, this kid actually, he's got it. He's got the size, he's got the ability. Yeah, his highlight is dominating, but we wanted to see him against some better talent. Mm-hmm. And when they did, they were like, oh, okay, he's legit.
Now you get enrolled in Missouri. Mm-hmm. Are you nervous? Are you scared?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the level of competition has stepped up even more. Do you remember your first day of practice, and were you nervous?
Man, University of Missouri, you know what's great? I'm from Florida. I wanted to go to a Florida school. I wanted to go to like USF, I was a huge Florida Gator fan. Still am. Love the Gators. There's a whole backstory on why I didn't end up going there. A lot of it, not even my choice. They just didn't want me. So there's a lot of guys that I played with that were there, and I knew them, and I was kosher with them, and they knew about me because I excelled at Missouri, but they didn't know me in high school. I just knew of them because they were the stars in Florida back then. And this was 06, 07, 08 Gators, like top dog people, right? So, but when I went to University of Missouri, I got offered. I knew I wanted to be in the Big 12. If I wasn't going to go to the Florida, I wanted to go to the Big 12 because that's where linemen went back then. That's where like linemen went to Big 12. Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, kind of not so much at the time, but they were getting there, right? These Big 12 schools were where the linemen would go. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to University of Missouri. And at the time I was thinking, okay, when I go there, the two tackles that played left tackle, they're both seniors. So I'm going to get a chance to play as a freshman. No freshman has ever played lineman at University of Missouri and started. until meet.
Yeah.
And so like that was my whole thought process. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And so I redshirted. Being so far away from home, I knew that was something I needed to do, but it sucked. I didn't like being that far away from home. I didn't have any connection. I didn't have any family.
Yeah.
My dad told me the first game that I start in, he'll be there. And sure enough, he was.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that redshirt year was definitely a learning curve, man. Like it's college. It's the life of a collegiate athlete is a lot, man. You go from, you're up 5 a.m. for 5:30, 6 a.m. workouts. You have class at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had class till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you got training table. You got to go to practice. You got study hall. Every freshman has to go through study hall until the school realizes you're not a complete idiot and can pass the classes. So like your entire freshman year, you're there from 6 to 9 p.m. And then you back in your dorm. And you have to be in a dorm.
Okay. So it's more than a 40-hour work week. Sounds like. Okay.
This was before we got paid too. So all these kids that are like, I'm only getting paid $500,000 this year, blah. Go fuck yourself. Like my scholarship check was $800 a month. And they used to bitch at me when I took extra. Hey, if anybody from my friends is watching this right now, comment below how much you got bitched at for taking extra food from the dining hall. You'd be able to grab like 3 plates and we'd fill up like 3 and then like it wouldn't be able to close all the way. The lady would say, you guys can't leave, you can't close it. Yeah, dude. That was the light. And now I go back and they have like just unlimited resources. And I'm like, bruh. It's okay though.
How do you think you would fare in today's environment of college, given all the resources that athletes now have available to them?
Dude, I would dominate. First of all, I have like 20 surgeries under my belt, getting paid $0.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay me $3 million a year, I'll die for the program. I will sign a contract today for $1 million like to go back and play if I have any eligibility. No, I don't know, man. The game is so different today. Like, I think that whole so I have a bunch of buddies that are still in the system, right? Mm-hmm. They're coaching now, they're recruiting analysis, they're in the program, they're other coaches, just like me. We're all just older, right? So I think that the pendulum went from like college athletes getting nothing, and it swung over like now they get everything. I think it went too far, and I think that's a very general thesis amongst my peers. Of like it went way too far. It has to be corrected. There's no loyalty. Everyone's in it for the money.
Yep.
You can't develop players anymore. High school athletes are getting a good look because why would you waste your time on a 18-year-old senior and go pick up a 22-year-old guy that's in JUCO or D2?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you just.
I think it was the Ole Miss coach. He was the one who's going to point out, I'm going to show you how bad the situation is because I'm going to utilize all the rules that are implemented and I'm going to make sure you guys change the game.
I mean.
So to your point, I think it will swing back.
It has
to correct itself.
Yep.
Okay. First game, Missouri. Who was it?
First game I ever started in, we were in, what was that, 2008, 2009? 2009. It was in the St. Louis Dome, right, back in the day, and we played Illinois.
Okay.
And this was back when Mizzou was Mizzou. Chase Daniel, Jeremy Macklin.
Chase Daniel Kaufman. From South Lake Carroll, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember him.
First high school football game Chase Daniel took me to in South Lake Carroll. I was in awe. I was like, holy shit. This is high school? Dude, Jumbotron, turf, popcorn, vendors, huge stadium. Anyway, so that was my first game. I was nervous as shit. I was a redshirt freshman.
Okay.
All the other guys on the O-line were, I was the first quote unquote city boy to play at University of Missouri.
Okay.
So all of them are from a small town in Missouri.
Got it.
Right? Like Bramer. Like you don't even know where these play. Like there's
Never
little towns, right?
Yeah.
Population 200, right? All the like Marshall, Sedalia, all these little small time. These are all the start of the, And so I was super nervous. Coach Dave Christensen, still talk to him this day. He pulled me in a couple weeks during the camp and he was like, hey, you're grading out better than the guy that's in front of you currently. He's a junior. I'm going to start you against Illinois. And I want you to tell your dad because I know that he said he would be there. So I told my dad. My dad flew up for the game, saw him, awesome. I was in the locker room, shitting bricks. That was probably one of my best games ever played.
Really? Okay.
I rose up to it. It's just, they call it like Zen state, flow state, right?
Right.
You just I just knew exactly what to do, where to be, how long to be there, and to change when I needed to be adapted, right?
Was the fellow offensive linemen, were they giving you any advice? Were they like trying to mentor you
Oh
as
yeah,
well?
they were awesome, man. Those guys, like, because there was a very veteran team.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, J-Mac was another freshman, but he's a freaking, superstar now, right? So like, they were very much like, you got this. Let's go.
Okay,
Trust yourself. We'll
All
be
right.
here for you. Help you with the calls. We knew the defense. We knew the structure. We know when we're going to do X, Y, Z. They were like, you got it. Let's just go out there and play.
Yeah.
And honestly, the best piece of advice, I don't even know who said, I think a couple guys would say, they were like, hey, look, you're a freshman. Nobody expects you to be great. So who gives a shit if you mess up?
Right.
Who gives a shit? No one's going to remember. Just go out there and play. And so like that took such like a lot of pressure off. I was like, let me just go out there and play. But looking back on it, you're like, ooh, Heisman Trophy winner, Chase Daniel. I'm the left tackle on blind side. We're supposed to be really good this year. Like, I'm a freshman. I'm a fucking nobody. Like, damn, like that's a lot of pressure. But I didn't think of it like that. It was just kind of like they keep you very, like the media likes to hype up a lot of stuff when you're on the outside.
Exactly.
But when you're in the nucleus of what's going on, it's not like that. Like they don't you're not stressed. It's day to day. You're very much in your own element. They keep you chill in the hotel. They don't let you like watch anything. Like it's just kind of like they're very chill.
I would assume they're very routine oriented,
Yes.
just so that you can keep focus on the task
100%.
at hand. Okay.
Like your routine from like the weeks of games, same every week. It's just you have the same meetings, you have the same structure. The things that change might be the scheme or your plays you're going to run or whatever the emphasis, but your lifting, your eating, your training table, your film, all of that is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. How do you get everybody on the same page to succeed as a team? You have a bunch of individuals from different backgrounds, from different cities, from different ways of life. They have their own personal life with things going on. You get on the football field. How do you get everyone to go in the same direction?
Yeah, it's got to come down to leadership. I mean, those guys when you look at any team that's like really good, look at the 5 guys that are like in charge. And I'm not talking about like coaches, but coaches play a huge role in setting the stage for that. But if you don't have the right leaders, like the guys that are going to like, if you don't have the guys that are going to be like, hey, we're not fucking going out tonight because we have workouts in the morning and keeps you in. And if you don't have that, it's going to be a rough go of it. Right. And so you hear examples all like everyone talks about like how great of a leader Kobe Bryant was. And all these guys are like, okay, well, if you're going to go party, I'm going with you, but then you're going to come work out with me at 5 a.m. Like you need that. And so I think the best thing that happened was just the guys that were in that locker room, they controlled that locker room, and you have to lead by example, right? And so I took that to heart when I was there and I witnessed it and I saw it in the league too. Like just the guys that, like if you're actually going to stand up in front of people and say something, you damn well better do what you say to build that trust. And so that's how I took that to heart. So when I tell our kids to do something here, like my wife and I's kids, best believe I'm going to show them the right way to do it. If I tell our athletes that train here what to do, best believe I should be able to show them, or they'll have a track record of me doing it. Same thing with my coaches, the staff. If I tell them I want them to follow up with a member and talk to them and shoot them a text, you best believe if they look at my phone, I better have done that, or they're going to call me full of shit. They're going to call me out. And so you are what you say you are, man. So like if you say something, you better do it. And so those teams that I were on that were really, really good, it was a bunch of guys that said the thing and they did the thing.
How did the team, this last question in your Missouri career, how did you guys handle adversity, whether it be losing a game or losing a football play or
that kind of stuff, dude, it sucks. Like you never want to, like you never go into an event thinking you're going to lose. I mean, now some people would, but that's a loser's mentality, right? And you want to be around winners' mentality, right? Now, losing isn't the end of the world. It's not the worst thing that ever happened to you, but it sucks. Like you should want to win, but you should not be so mad that you are out of character or too emotional if you lose and you freak out and you hit somebody. We never had any of that. So they call it emotional stability, right? And if you lost, you have to literally, and I'm taking this from Pat Ivey himself, and this is so funny for me to say, but you have to find what matters. What matters in the moment. So and every individual person has to do their job. So like if I'm out there and I'm playing left tackle and I overset and the guy up and unders me and sacks the QB, does it do me any good to cuss and be pissed and to let that affect me the next dozen plays? Does that do my left guard, if he gets on my ass and yells at me and calls me a piece of shit, does that do any good in the situation? Or would it just be better to be like, everyone just say, fuck it. Find what matters. That literally does not matter. The next play is what matters. And move on from it. So you can address, trust me, if I messed up, it's on film and we watch it. Our coach will just sit there like this. Here's the recorder. Rewind. Rewind. They'll just rewind you whiffing probably a dozen times in a team. What the hell was that, Fisher? You fat ass? So like that's literally, that will happen. But it doesn't happen on game day in the moment. In the heat of the battle, you can't change what you're doing. You have to just trust what you're doing. You adjust it in film. So when you dealt with adversity, like if something happened, like in the game, you make corrections as needed, but you're very much uplifting with the people around you. When you handle that kind of failure or loss or whatever, you handle it in film like the next day you meet. So.
One of my favorite I hated watching film when we played football, but one of my favorite moments was Coach Chaton was rewinding this moment where Juan Borrego just completely whiffed a block, and he goes, "Congratulations, Juan, you did nothing." And we were just,
isn't that so? Think about like that for a moment. Aren't you so excited? Like that's a memory you have. And I bet, what's his name? Juan, yeah. I bet this is how 15 years ago,
maybe 20. I think
so
at this point.
If you call Juan, I bet you just when you call him, you call him, and be like, "You've done absolutely nothing," and you guys probably crack up laughing. So like, isn't that great?
Oh,
it's just
man.
funny. I love it.
I didn't really like that coach to begin with, but damn, did he fucking make me crack up at that moment.
Dude,
all right.
I love it.
So when did you start when did it cross your mind that you might play in the NFL?
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was there a moment?
Probably be.
Hold that mic up to your mouth.
My bad. So when I probably was a little too high on myself my freshman year, right? Because I was freshman.
You're dominating.
I wouldn't say I was dominating. I played at a high level, and we had a really good season. I was a freshman All-American. I thought I was a man, right? Sophomore year, still really good, but we had some other really good linemen come in. So when your team does good, back in the day, you have a better recruiting class next year.
Yep.
So you bring in all these awesome.
More talent.
The guys under me actually were better than me. And I can name off 6 guys right now that were my quote-unquote little brothers that had decade-long careers in the NFL, and they were my roommates, guys I mentored. And so like you always want the next up-and-comers to be better than you. You don't want them to be better than you that day, but you want them when you move on, you want them to be better than you. And so sophomore year, still really good, and I really enjoyed the competition because when that new competition came in, I worked twice as hard just to elevate myself up so I could continue playing. Probably junior year, like I told you, end of my junior year, man, I thought I was doing. I did really good against. Well, there was a couple really good defensive players that went on and got drafted, and I did really good against them. And so my coach was like, "Hey, you did really good." All the draft boards were talking about me going, and that's why into my senior year, I was like, "This is gonna be. I'm gonna do this." I didn't go early to the draft. That was a topic of conversation. Not really, but I could have been. But I was like, I'm gonna come back. We had an awesome team, bunch of guys, still my friends today. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do this. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to be in that moment, man. College was awesome. Being at the University of Missouri, I wanted to be there. We were it. And then when I hurt my knee, I was like, oh shit, this ain't gonna happen no more. Right? It's just like, dang. And then you battle away from that. So probably that end of junior year, going into my senior, I was really like, man, this could be a thing. And then when it all got taken away from me, that's when I found my sports psych and the mindset of it. And I think not only in the moment did I need that, but it was something that I needed for life. I use a lot of those lessons in my day-to-day, being a dad, being a husband, being a coach now, being a business owner now. I use a lot of those lessons from back in then. So, what looked like a curse back then, man, was probably the biggest blessing for real. Yeah.
Eventually you made your way to the Patriots, right?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get there?
So I was a undrafted free agent, right? They took me and I got a cool signing bonus. Hey,
How much was
you
that?
You know how people talk
A
about
Subway sandwich?
Yeah, dude. Like everyone thinks like when you make it to the league, they're like, "Oh, dude, you're a multi-millionaire now." Do you know what league minimum was back
like
in? So let me break
$75,000
down
a
this
year?
to you. League minimum was like 400,000, which is a decent. Okay,
Not bad.
in New
Till
England,
taxes
in
come.
Boston,
Yeah.
49% tax bracket. Now you're at 200,000. Your agent takes 3% if you're a shitty player like me. If you make a lot of money, you can negotiate that down to like 2 or 1%. It took 3% of mine. So like, some people would say, you still made 170,000. Like, yeah, I get it, but everyone thinks that you're a millionaire and that's supposed to last you the rest of your life. And this is why people go broke like 2 years after they stop playing. So my signing bonus, everyone also thinks you get like $1 million. They only hear like the Joe Burrow got like $4 million for sign.
Sure.
I got $5,000. And so, but I was really fortunate to be around some great finance guys who are still my finance guys today. And they really, really set me straight on like, don't spend nothing. Like you hear like Gronkowski, because I played on the team. He didn't spend $1 of his salary from the league. He rented with some friend, didn't buy a house.
Right.
Just kind of had his old shitty beat up car, and he just lived off endorsement money.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, like, dude, you have to do that. And they had guys come in and talk to you about that. And so, but you just, dude, when I was on like IR, like injury reserve for them, like I was on IR with like, a handful of their guys that we go there, and they would blow their money on like clothes. They're like, man, I bought clothes and a new car and all. They're like, what'd you buy? And I was like, you want to know the biggest thing I bought? All right.
Yes.
All right, you want to know what I bought?
A minivan.
I bought a custom AR-15, $2,200, and I spent more on ammo than I did the actual rifle.
5.56, 100 blackout.
I shoot 5.56 out of it.
Okay. 16-inch SBR.
It's yes.
Do you
it has
still
a red
have
dot.
it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's in the safe. Haven't shot it in a decade.
Yeah, you don't have
No
time.
one's broken into my house yet. No, but that's the most, right? So,
But that could also be considered like, I don't know, that's investment because
100%. That's
Anyways,
what I try to tell my wife, baby. The guns are an investment.
They hold their value.
They're for our future.
For sure, yeah.
No, but so I got to the league, right? So Dante Scarnecchia was the offensive line coach. Okay. He came and watched me on a couple of my pro days and all that at University of Missouri, and I was a big boy. I had a big midsection.
It's
he goes
really hard to envision you as a thick boy.
Yep, and he looks at my trainer at Missouri. His name is Akeem Robinson. He is actually shout out to Akeem, man. He's going to watch this. He's going to laugh his ass off when he said it. But he was working with me and all that. He was the man. He does all this stuff now too. He's a great dad, awesome husband. He asked me, he goes, why is Elvis so fucking soft around the midsection? I had love handles, big fat guy. Yeah, and he was like, he's just, he's like, does he even work out? So for reference, Dante Scarnecchia, if you Google him, like 5'7", been the Patriots O-line coach forever, will get in your face, doesn't give a shit about you, says what he wants to say, never played O-line, but coached it for like a decade plus.
5'7"?
Oh, man, he's a tiny little dude. Just gets in your ass.
He must be like fucking scary.
Dude, and he just like... But anyway, he loved my tenacity, right? Like Patriots liked that, the unsung guys, like guys, the no-namers that would come in and like just be a workhorse. Yeah. And that was the rumor around like the league is like, dude, if you're going to go to the Patriots, you're going to work. It's not going to Miami and partying.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to Foxborough.
There's nothing out there, right?
Foxborough is so terrible. They don't even know how to spell Foxborough because it's written differently on every sign in the city.
I have a bunch of buddies who are Patriots fans. They're like, yeah, you really don't want to go to Patriots game because there's nothing. It takes a lot to get.
It's nothing. And so like, I was going there, but I wanted to prove myself and be there. And then, I was doing fairly decent, right? I was rotating in. I was playing.
Were you on practice squad? Were you on the?
What happened with me there was you report for camp, go to a rookie camp, rookie mini camp, stay there, summertime, all this stuff. Then you go to like all the veterans show up. Then you go to the camp, and now all the guys are. And I'm sitting in the room, fucking Brady. This was the year Tebow was there. You got Gronk, all these dudes. Right?
Oh my God, I forgot he was on the Patriots. Holy shit!
All these dudes were there, right? This was also Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Aaron Hernandez, right? Watch out. And so, like, okay, we're allowed to. Okay. Anyway, we're moving on.
This is your brand. I'm adapting to your.
It's
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Aaron, so this is like I got a funny. We won't. I'll tell you that one off camera.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, so this was like a big year for them, right? So I'm doing what I need to do, playing hard. I was rotating in. One of the scariest moments in my life was when I was rotating with the ones. So the 1 and 2 O line would rotate in with the 1 and 2, and they'd flip flop you. They go like 2 O line, 1 skills. So I'm in the huddle with Brady, and I'm like, this is, we're literally in. This is my impression. We're like, this is week 1, day 2. And I'm rotating in.
Does he have this like glow about him, and you're just like, oh my God?
He is everything that you see about like him in interviews of talking about like, I was locked in, I'm here, I'm all business, 1,000% true.
Yeah. Okay.
We weren't even in shells, dude. We're in just shorts and tees. Verse air. He comes up, we're in the huddle, he goes, all right, motherfuckers. Like he's like, dude, it's like, and I'm sitting there, they were just a bunch of rookies. I'm like, oh. Looking around, and he says a play. No recollection of play was. I have no idea what the play is to this day. At the time, had no idea what I was doing.
Did you have a playbook?
It's day 2.
Okay.
I have no idea. And he just goes, it's like we're going into the end zone. So it's like, it's like 3rd and goal. We're on the 4-yard line. He says a bunch of stuff. He goes, this is our fucking time. Let's go. Ready, break. Run up to the line. I look to my guy. I have no idea what I'm doing. Dante Scarnecchia is why he goes, you idiots, just run pass. It's a 3-step. So they hike the ball, boom, boom, take my sets, and I get out. And they're like, how was that? And I was like, bro, I don't remember a fucking thing he said. Hey, I don't. So like, he is that locked in. And so that's like the impression, dude, is that they are there to freaking work, man.
Like how much rehab have you done at this point on your on your injuries?
So much. So fun fact, here's a funny story. The Chiefs, so Missouri Chiefs, my family that I married into, shout out wifey, her whole family, except for her mom and dad, diehard Mizzou fans and diehard Chiefs fans. Okay. My wife didn't know who I was. So in Missouri, I like to say I was a big deal. I was a two-time team captain, big man camp. I knew what Mizzou was about, right? And people knew me from being at Mizzou. So her family knew of me. That she did not, right? I met my wife around this time where I was being drafted and all that stuff. So they were like, oh, he could go to the Chiefs, right? This could be a thing. Because the Chiefs did talk to me because I was a local. The Chiefs like taking Mizzou guys. They came and saw me or whatever. And so that was like a thing, right? At the time, a guy out of Central Michigan named Eric Fisher, wore number 72, was a left tackle, was 6'6", 310, right? Same all the stats. On draft day, I went fishing on draft day. So I was just out on the boat fishing in Central Missouri. On draft day, he went I think he went number 2 overall, something. He's first round. He's great tackle, played for the Chiefs for years, big veteran. It says E. Fisher of U of M. This was Central Michigan. So it was like, Michigan, like MU, it's like the same as Mizzou.
Yeah.
Drafted to the Chiefs.
Okay.
My phone back in the day, Twitter was the big thing. It wasn't like I was just coming up in social media, and I had a pretty big presence on social media. My phone is fucking blowing up. E. Fisher, dude, first round. Everyone's freaking out. I'm like, what?
Oh, man.
Call my agent. I'm like, hey, what's happening right now? He goes, nah, it's Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan. So anyway, fast forward to when I get to the Patriots. They mix up our medical records, me and Eric Fisher, because whatever reason, they must have been looking at him too, or they mix up my medical records with Eric Fisher.
That can't be a good thing.
And so he's on Twitter, I'm on Twitter, right? I get to the Patriots and they're doing my physical exam and they're like, oh, you've had no injuries. You sleep pretty good. I'm like, none? I'm like, recheck the paper again. Just check it over again. They're like, yeah, no, nothing wrong. I said, I've had both shoulders, wrists, hands, both knees, ankles. I've done it all, man. What are you talking about? They were like, oh, we got the wrong. E. Fisher, and so he DMs me and goes, I DM him and I said, hey, I messed up. I got your medical records. And he was like, yeah, you're fucked up, bro. Because he got mine or whatever.
He's like, what are you doing in the NFL right now? You should be in a hospital laying down.
You should be on crutches right now. Yeah. So anyway, the rehab question.
Yes.
I have had an injury or a surgery every year from 2008 until I stopped playing in like 2013.
Okay.
And so it was like, first it was shoulder, then knee, MCL, knee, ankle, hamstrings, back to shoulder. Like there's a bunch of stuff, right?
Okay.
And so part of my love, then when I hurt my knee again, and also to answer your question about the Patriots, how I like retire from the game or whatever, I was doing, it was a couple weeks before the first game. I was rotating. It was looking like I was going to make the squad to actually like.
Yeah, but up until that point,
team.
did your body feel properly? Was it functional enough to be like, I could still compete with these?
Functional enough.
Yeah.
Did not feel proper.
Okay.
Felt like shit, right? I don't think there's a guy playing football now that feels 100%.
Right.
Right. But good enough to play? Absolutely.
Okay.
It was looking like I was going to be good to, be on the team, be on the travel squad, and rotate in and play.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the same thing, a little bit lesser grade tear to my right knee, patella. I did that full one to my left, partial to my right. And as soon as I did it, I kind of we're doing one-on-one pass rush again, and I just like a drill, and I felt it pop, and I was like, I got really tight. And I just walked off, and and after practice, I didn't go back on the field, went to the training table, went to my locker, and the NFL is a different animal now. So I called my agent as soon as that happened. I said, hey, I hurt my knee. He goes, whatever you do not step 1 foot out on that fucking practice field. Because if you go back out on the field, this is how fucked up the NFL is. Because it's a job. Mm-hmm. Remind you, it's a business.
Yeah.
If I would have went back out onto the field, they would have cut me that next second.
Oh my God.
They cannot cut you because of injury. But if they cut you because you weren't making it, it's a different story. Regardless if I had an injury. So he goes, if you ever want to see any sort of money, do not step back out on the field. And I said, so what do you want me to do? He goes, don't tell nobody nothing. Clean out your locker and get the hell out of there.
Wow.
I said, what do you mean get out of there? He goes, I'll call them. We'll call the doctors.
Yeah.
And you'll go in for an x-ray or whatever in like a week or so. MRIs will get all taken care of. And then we'll get the diagnosis. Just don't step out on the field.
Man.
So that's what I did. I didn't say a word, nothing. My best friend, Kent Graham, his family owns like a little lake house up in New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. I just drove my ass up to New Hampshire for it was probably 10 days. Just stayed there, fished. It was summer. It was like, end of August, right? That's the timeline. So I was fishing, hanging out, just me there, chilling in this little small town, New Hampshire. Go back up, get my X-ray, MRIs, all that. I got a slight tear. They do the surgery there. I'm in the hotel for like a week. They fly me to Texas to my dad's house, and then they put me on IR.
Okay.
So technically speaking, if the Patriots would have won the Super Bowl that year, I would have got a ring.
What year was that?
This was 2014.
Were they playing Seattle? No, that wasn't.
No, this was it was something crazy. It was like Super Bowl, my year, Super Bowl. Something like that. I can't remember, but that's like what it was, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so, but I was on IR, so you made league minimum, right? And then as soon as the season, I would fly. I had to fly up every 3 weeks. I had to fly up and do medical testing.
Okay.
They flew me, right? They flew me first class.
Sure.
It was so nice.
Hell yeah.
I'm in the league. I'm doing X, Y, Z, right? Super cool. And then as soon as the season was over, cut. Boom. See you later. And so they cleared me. So you had to be cleared. Mm-hmm. They cleared me, and then they cut me. That's how it works.
Man.
But they had to pay me, right? So I did get some money for being on the team, right? So it was cool. And then at that point in time, that was when I talked to my agent. I was with my then girlfriend, now wife, Miss Chandra, and we had been dating for a few months, and I had been talking. In this interim, I was back up in Columbia, Missouri. I was doing my training, my rehab there with the doctors that I had been used to doing my stuff with, and I was just talking to the guys. I lost some weight. Every surgery I went down to like 250 pounds, 260, and it's just like I would lie about it. No, I'm still 300. Never was. And so
right.
I lost a lot of passion for the game at that point in time. And so I made a decision to just, retire, quote unquote, and just stop playing.
How old were you at this point?
I was 23.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 23. Retired at 23. And yeah.
Looking back, could you pinpoint some of the problem areas of why you were injured so much? Is it because you were just so not overweight, but you just had a lot of mass on you?
Yeah, I had too many reps. So everybody has this is my theory, and I've been backed up by some people on this, but this is just my opinion on why I was deteriorated, right? Yeah. So in high school, I've started since I was a freshman in high school. My high school ran, say you run 60, 70 plays on average. We ran a spread offense in high school, so we ran a lot of plays. And that's a lot of wear and tear over a 10-game season. And my high school was really good. We played all the way through playoffs. So we play like 14, 15 games, right? So I did that from freshman to senior year. Most kids, if you go to like Georgetown or Round Rock here, as a lineman, you're not starting until like you're a junior. Like you're not playing until you're a junior. So right off the rip, I have double the amount of experience in high school than 95% of kids have. A lot of reps. I go to University of Missouri. I redshirt, but you still have to practice. So I'm getting redshirt reps and all that. I was a 4-year starter at University of Missouri, right? Longest consecutive start, 2-time captain played. I got a 6-year. So we ran a spread offense. We averaged like 77 plays a game. Very unusual for a freshman to start there. You usually don't start until your junior or senior year in college as well. I have double the amount of reps there too, right? And so by the time I get to the NFL, right, it's almost like I was a 5-year vet already. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just from the wear and tear of your body. And so that's my claim, my theory. I'm sticking to it. If you look at guys that didn't play much until like their junior or senior year in high school, and then they didn't get their playing time till junior, senior in college, they went on to play 3, 5, 7, 10-year stints in the league. And it wasn't for lack of taking care of my body. Right. It wasn't for lack of that. I think I just had way too much wear and tear, man. Just kind of your body does have a lifespan on what it can do.
It does, yeah. So your NFL career has come to a conclusion. Are you thinking about the next path, what you're going to do next?
Very much so.
What is that?
So at the time.
What was that?
Yeah, at the time I was living in Missouri. I was going to be a GA, graduate assistant. I wanted to coach.
Okay.
I wanted to be a coach. I was living with my girlfriend, Chandra. We were living together. We lived together after like 2 months of dating.
Ooh.
Like we fell fast.
Okay.
And then we broke up just as fast when I moved out of there. But anyway, so I was going to work at University of Missouri, be a coach, be a GA. One of my good friends, Josh Fry, he said, dude, don't do that. Because he was a GA. And he did it, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Get another degree? What are you gonna work 80 hours a week and make 20 grand for the year?" He was like, "Dude, F that.
Yep.
Come work at this new business. This is 2014. Mm-hmm. Come work at this new fitness concept called Orange Theory Fitness."
I remember this story.
Right? And this was this was in St. Petersburg, Florida. Mind you, I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
Never heard of Orange Leaf in my life. That's what everyone. Orange Leaf is a froyo place in Florida, so that's what I called it when I first went there. And you go, no, it's Orange Theory. Orange Theory started in 2012 in Miami. I worked at Studio 0004.
Oh wow.
Orange Theory Fitness, St. Pete. So I went there. I flew down with Chandra. I don't have any family really that lives there. I was like, hey, this is where I'm from. You want to come with me? I'm going to check out Orange Theory. This is where I might do work at. I might move back down here. Never had any plans on moving back to Florida. I just went down there, did the tour. I loved it. Fell in love with the training. I really liked my buddy that was there. I liked the coaches that was there. It was a new startup. You could say what you want, do what you want, be who you want, kind of like how I do it at Better You. This was before it turned corporate. So this was like the pre-corporate shit. Everyone loves pre-corporate. So I was like, dude, this is what I'm going to do. So I drove back out to Missouri. I had a call with the owner. He goes, you have to be a certified personal trainer. You got to get certified. So I literally took me like 2 weeks to get certified, got CPR, AD certified. And I called him. I said, hey, I'm done. I'm moving down. And he goes, cool. You can start whenever you want. Back then, now there's like a whole onboarding process. But he was like, no, you can just come in and do whatever. It's very chill, right? So I was like, cool, I'm moving. Told Chandra, I said, Chandra and I had planned to move together down there. And then the day of when I was moving, she was like, I can't do it. She broke up with me, dude. Broke my freaking heart, right? Sitting there crying like a little bitch. Anyway, so I load up the truck with a U-Haul, loaded down with all my shit in it.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
Oh, man.
Have my dog with me, R.I.P. King. King just died. Okay, sad story, dude. My dog King just died like 2 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I've had him since I was... How old was I? 17,
Yeah.
18.
I mean,
I'm 37 right
dude,
now. Old ass dog.
He made it a long way.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was 18 years old.
Good
And
old
so,
boy helping you console
boxer
yourself.
hound mix, dude.
Aw,
Loved
man.
him. He was the man. But anyway, so I loaded him up. We road trip to Florida. I said, "See you later, lady. I'll make it on my." No, I didn't say that. I didn't say none of that. Cried, listened to sad country songs the whole way down. It's a 20-hour drive. Freaking. Anyway, so I move in with my roommates there. They were all ex-Division I strength coaches. Did the Orange Theory thing. Like 2 months later, she moved down. We stayed in contact. She came down and
Attaboy.
we're like, we love each other. And then we got an apartment together. And then, yeah. So anyway, got in there, Orange Theory, and loved it, man. Rose through the ranks quick at Orange Theory. Realized I was really good at coaching.
Doesn't surprise me.
Was hype. People loved it. It was a good vibe. I could play whatever fucking music I wanted to, man. I had a microphone.
Which was that's weird.
Oh,
to see
dude,
that
gangster
on your-
rap, dude.
Okay.
40-year-old rich white women
Yeah.
love 2000s gangster rap.
That track.
Just telling you, dude.
My wife loves all the gangster rap,
Hey.
knows every lyric. Her friend who she grew up with knows all the. I'm like, what is going on?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you guys are supposed
Yup.
to like Taylor Swift, and they do like that, but I'm like, what are you? Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
Okay,
that's
that
and so
tracks.
I worked at, I became they promoted me to like the head guy at their Tampa location, and I got to know the ownership very well. Loved South Tampa.
With that promotion, that means more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they gave, and listen, shout out to the owner of Orange Theory. I don't know if he wants me to say his name on here.
You don't have to.
We'll kind of leave it out, but
Yeah.
he gave me there was two guys. They gave me a lot of opportunity. Forever grateful for that. That were within that Orange Theory community. And one of those guys moved me and my family out here to run this area. So I opened up, 70% of these Orange Theories in the Austin area, I hired the coaches for them, did the coaches trainings, and oversaw them.
Wow.
And so, like, I was there at all the grand openings, all of them, and I was the head guy of all of them. And
Yeah.
he gave me the opportunity to also be a part owner of it. He gave me that opportunity. And then when he, did his thing and sold to private equity, as you do now, at the time I didn't realize what he was doing. I just thought he was an asshole. I hated him. I was like, you're ruining the brand.
Yeah.
You're shitting on the people that started it.
Yeah.
We can't say, we have to have a uniform. We have to play edited music. I can't say whatever the fuck I want. The creator of Orange Theory is friends with me on Facebook. She's telling me I can't go out. There was a lot of things that I didn't see then, but I see now. And I thought they were all douches. But now I'm like, oh, they're just doing what business people do.
Yeah.
They didn't hate me.
No.
They provided me tons of opportunity, and they paid me out from my ownership share in it. Mm-hmm. So they didn't do me wrong by any sense.
Sure.
But in my mind, I was like, y'all screwed me over. And I was just young and full of it, right?
Well, I think that's also that's because you cared. That's because you cared about what you're doing.
It was
and you
just
didn't want
growing
to
up,
see a change.
care of it. And I cared a lot about that company. I loved it. I loved the people. I loved everything about it. And I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it for Orange Theory anymore.
Sure. Okay. So right around the time, what was that year that you decided I'm not going to do Orange Theory anymore?
Yeah, that was 2018.
Okay.
2018, I was thinking this isn't going to be for me anymore. 2019 is when it all happened.
Did you give 2 weeks? Did you talk to them, or you just pieced out?
So here's a funny story. You know me, Mr. Fiery. So we're sitting in the new corporate office. This is when it's sold, got new leadership, new management. I'm no longer an owner in it. I'm just the head coach of a studio,
okay.
And I'm the regional fitness director. They're having this meeting. These higher-ups promote something that they want to do. I said, hey, I don't think that's going to work. We've tried it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't care what you have to say. Just sit down and we're going to do it this way.
Okay.
I stood up and I said, who the fuck are you talking to? Right? And so the ex-owner...
It also helps to be as tall as you are.
So I get away with a lot of saying stuff because I am as big as I am. I realize that. I get it. But I also, now, there's a lot of big people that run their mouth and don't want to back it up. At the time, I'm not like this today, but at the time, I was willing to back some stuff up. So, that's the downfall of me. I get it. I recognize I was an idiot, and I probably got my ass beat by some people. I get it. But so anyway, I'm in this room and I just walk out, and then we get on the call. He's like, you can't quit. I didn't realize why I couldn't quit. When you're acquiring a business or doing a sale of a corporation or a company and a big thing, the main people have to stay on for X amount of time in order for the sale to go through. And so they were like, you don't have to go to no more of these meetings. You don't have to be regional anymore. I just need you to be on for another 6 months. And I was like,
that's a long time.
Well, you got to pay me more. And they go, done. Because they were making way more off of me, right? And I didn't.
Got it.
If I'd have known that now, what I know about business ethics and all that now, I'd have asked for way more.
Sure.
But so anyway, no. So we caused a scene, did that, and I wrote. And so then I was quietly trying to build my own thing and what it is to now Better You Influence, right? And so that transition.
Yeah. When you were trying to build your own thing, were you acquiring money? Were you saving money? Were you going out to get loans? Yeah. What was the process like?
I am terrified of debt.
Same. Yeah.
I don't carry debt on anything but my house currently.
Okay.
So I don't like having debt. So I didn't ever do a loan.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to be able to have money from NFL.
Okay.
To originally be able to invest in Orange Theory.
So that was your bankroll.
Yep.
Okay.
And that investment of Orange Theory paid me out another lump sum.
Got it.
And I was able to take some of that and put it and buy all the equipment that you see here today.
Yeah.
And so it definitely has taken a risk, but I was investing like in myself and what I knew I was going to want to do.
What was one big issue that you realized going through the process of like, oh my God, I didn't think of that, and now that's costing me a lot of money?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, people. You think you have like some sort of rapport or following, support. Everybody, when you're doing the marathon, is all for you, man.
They're rah-rahing.
Go do it, baby.
Exactly.
You got it. We're here for you.
I support you.
Ain't a damn soul at mile 10. Just you, baby. As soon as you start, you leave them. Hey, everyone that said they were there, going to support you, I'll see you. They ain't nowhere to be found till you actually finish.
Yep.
And you're on the podium. Dude, we knew you could do it.
Oh, I know you could do it. You're looking so good out there.
You realize real quick that really people don't care about you. And I thought that people were going to follow me from Orange Theory and leave and come with me. Now, I was at one of the bigger studios, had 1,200 members. It was the biggest one in the nation. Wow. Number one studio in the nation. And I coached 20 classes there. Each class had 35 people in it. And they were 35 different people for every one of those 20 classes.
What was the average cost of membership?
Oh, 120 to 170 back then, right?
Wow.
Oh, they were a $2 million a year facility.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, no, they were doing $200,000 months.
Okay.
And so I get all the numbers now. And so I get it. But you think that you affect these people's lives so much and they're all for you. They're friends with you on social media. Oh, we're going to come. Man, let me see. Because I don't want to leave these people out.
No.
We had 3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
10 people.
10 people from that Orange Theory that stuck with me. And they were there at Better You, my first location that I had down by my old spot. They stuck with me until I moved up here. And then 2 of them stuck with me here.
Okay.
One of them is still with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, you think you have hundreds of people that love and support you.
Right.
That don't happen, right? So.
But to play devil's advocate, why should they?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. I was renting space out of a shit. Like you're not going to go to a shithole garage from Orange Theory, a boutique fitness place. And Orange Theory's clientele isn't the nitty gritty type people. They are South Austin, Westlake. They're these people.
Yeah.
Right. So I get that. And so they're not bad people. They're just not going to go train with turf in a garage with no AC from doing Orange Theory. Now the ones that went with me and they're, I think that I got along with them so well and they believed in me.
Yeah.
And they themselves also started some things. A couple of them did their own thing, right?
Yeah.
And they were just doing it because they believed in what I had to offer. And I loved them dearly for that.
Yeah.
And so, So, no, you're right. They should not believe me. No, they should. They should.
So as you're factoring in all the costs, you did it all yourself pretty much, right?
Yes, sir.
You painted the
Yep.
the gym. You did all that.
I've moved this gym, all the weights. The floor mats weigh 100 pounds a piece.
They're not
I have
light.
60
Yep.
of them. Move them hand by hand, one by one, into 3 different locations.
Okay.
Painted everything, done it all. I was fortunate enough when I came here, I was able to hire an excellent contractor named Dennis. Shout out Dennis for all your construction stuff. He's the man. He did the office and the paint. He was the man. Doesn't speak a word of English though.
No
so if you
hablo
don't
inglés.
speak Spanish,
Okay.
I talk to him via Google Translate. And through Espanol Radio on Spotify, and I dance with all his employees because they love me. They call me the Es Muy Grande Gringo.
Now, is that something that that's something that you kind of
Yeah.
had to just feel out, and because a lot can get lost in miscommunication.
100%.
So, I mean, did that make you feel nervous? Like, all right, I'm trying to communicate my idea to this guy. I have equipment coming in. I have all the, like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, no, man. Honestly, like, it's crazy because you think about like you're sitting here asking me questions about like, dude, okay, when you were planning and you did X, it's like, I don't know if I ever planned any of this shit. You just kind of go do it. You just kind of like, I'm kind of like blindly like, okay, I need to get some more dumbbells. I go get dumbbells. Okay, I need to paint this. I go paint it. Okay, I need to get a security system. Get a security system. Oh, I need to go run ads. Okay, I'm going to go learn how to run ads. Okay, I need to make content. I need to make content. Oh, I need a new program. How do I do program? Oh, wow, this person wants to cancel. I've never had anybody cancel. How do I handle a cancel? Oh, this person wants to, this person's mom died. How do I tell them they still owe me money? I don't care if your mom died, but I do care.
I know,
right?
I know.
But these are all problems, dude.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I used to have year-long memberships. Oh, this dude just got laid off. What am I going to tell him? He owes me 8 months because he got laid off. When you get into this type of business, customer service, dealing with people, front facing with the people, I give a lot of shit about these people. So it's like I have to learn this as I go, how to deal with people, talk to them, relate to them on a level that they understand, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of my business, so that's why my memberships are, dude, month to month here. I don't do year-long commitments, man. If you love it, train.
Right.
If you hate it, deuces. You ain't got to be here. I don't want this to be the reason you hate and resent me because you're stuck here.
Yeah.
There's no handcuffs. So
Right.
I want people that want to be here.
Do you there's this thing called dry January where you don't drink booze because you want to dry out for the month of January. That affects the bars in Austin, Texas, and that specifically affects a brewery that I really love and care about. So they've learned to adapt and provide other, alcohol.
Dude, we're doing juice January, baby.
So what were some of the trends that you weren't aware of that kind of impacted your business and you had to readjust other than the people thing,
Yeah, man.
Pandemic maybe?
When you're training, pandemic. So fun, I started this and 2020 is technically the first day that I legit was only Better You Performance because December 31st, 2019 was my last day at Orange Theory. January 1, 2020, I had a renting space. And then as we know, a couple months later, the entire world shut down.
Yes.
And so also what helped me is I'm very polarizing. I say what I want. I used to be a lot more in your face on social media. And I was very adamant about this pandemic shit. I don't like it. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not forcing anybody else to wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask, cool on you, but you're not going to make me do any of that. This is my gym.
Right.
You either come or you don't.
Yeah.
And dude, people came. So I grew a lot during 2020, which was very weird. I didn't realize how much. I was training people at my house because the gym that I was renting space from shut down. He was very much on the trend of like, no, we're following the rules. We're doing X, Y, Z. And so when there's no gyms around, I live in Pflugerville. All those people I trained in Austin, they were like, we'll come up there. And so I probably trained 50 people out of my house. And so my whole gym in my driveway was the gym.
Yeah.
And then when Texas was Texas was the first one to kind of open things back up. But gyms still struggled, and it was bad.
Right.
Like 50% of those gyms, I think even 60% of gyms that were pre-COVID didn't reopen after COVID.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Right.
And there's still a lot of gyms that hurt from that for years after. And so, but all my people were like, hey man, we love you. But dude, I live in freaking Westlake. I'm not driving to Pflugerville no more if freaking, Planet Fitness is open now.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I get it. So I had to really get a spot. So that's when I got my first location. It was 800 square feet. And I asked the landlord, I was like, hey man, like I know it's COVID, if they shut things down, like, what do you care if I'm open or you're going to shut me down? He goes, dude, as long as your rent comes every month, I don't give a damn what you do.
Right.
So it was literally me and like 10 empty warehouse buildings, dude. So I took over the whole, I just paid for that unit and I put all these stall mats out in the parking lot and I put awnings up. It's so funny. If you go back and look at like 4 or 5 years ago at my posts, you'll see like the members outside just doing workouts. And it was such a gritty grind. That's the clientele that I had, man.
And another thing you had to deal with at that other spot was the unhoused people.
Oh, bro. You want to get into that?
A little bit.
You want to get into me drop kicking a homeless person?
But yeah. But
not because they're homeless.
No, I know.
Because they took a shit on my door and they tried to approach me. That's different.
Okay. So during that time, were you... Jesus. Again, that's why you're so... You can control your own destiny because you're so big. But were you reaching out to like city officials to be like, hey, this is a problem. This is impacting a small business. I'm here trying to make things work for the betterment of this community. Can you help a brother out? Or did you take it upon your own hands?
Yeah, man,
to
City of
solve
Austin,
the issue?
they didn't help me at all.
Okay.
Back then, too, that was big time on defund the police. Everyone wanted to defund them.
Yeah.
Save yourself, whatever.
Right.
I had a bunch of instances where, there was bums, homeless people, drug addicts right across the street. They came over into our area. They would be, there'd be needles and shit in front of my doorstep and garage door. They'd come and try to harass my people. They're fighting each other by the dumpsters. The one instance that, this was probably my first couple months at this place. There was, we were working out and it was like 5:30 in the morning. And majority of them were really cool because the building I was in had an awning. So it was cool cover for them. They could cover under the night. And I didn't give a shit about that, but I would come up, honk the horn. I turn all the lights on. I'm like, hey, I'd give them waters and protein bars. Like, hey man, just y'all get out of here in the next 5 minutes. I got people coming. They're like, all right, man, cool.
Yeah.
So for like every 50 homeless people, one was a POS, right?
Yeah.
And so this one instance was this dude, like they're, probably doing drugs or whatever, bashed this lady, his girlfriend or whatever, this other bum lady, head into the dumpster. And one of my clients took off running and they go, Elvis, she's moving.
Yeah.
So I go to my office. I have to grab something.
What do you grab?
I know what you grab. Registered concealed carry. I hold.
Right.
Okay?
You're a true
I go grab it.
Texan.
I'm just go down there and my clients are going down there. I don't know what's going to happen, dude.
You're right.
I have no idea. I'm going into the shit of it, but I'm running with her. So I'm down there and the guy's like threatening to beat up this chick. I'm like, hey man, if you take another step, you're not going to like what happens. And that was the closest at that time, that was the closest I've been to actually like drawing on somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's very scary. And I stood there, had my client roll out, and I stood there and made them, they rolled out. They just kind of got out there and left. But I'd call the cops that instant too.
Right.
Cops didn't show up for like 3.5 hours later, man. This was 5:30 in the morning. It was probably 8:30, 9 a.m. Sun is up. I'm there with my mid-morning client. They're like, hey, we got a call. I was like, yeah, that was like 3 hours ago, bro. And he was like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, now. I'm like, what would you, I was like, sir, I said, officer, what would you have done if, this is a serious question now. I asked him, I said, what would you have done if that guy would approach me and I'd have pulled on him and I'd have shot and killed him? What would happen? And he just asked me 2 questions. He goes, sir, is that gun registered to you? I said, yes, sir. He goes, is this your business? Do you own it? And I was like, yes, sir. He goes, you want my honest opinion? I said, yes, sir, I do. He goes, shoot to kill. He goes, if it's self-defense, state of Texas, you'll be protected.
Yeah.
He goes, but if you leave them injured, they can come back. He goes, shoot to kill. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? And he's like, I'm not saying nothing, but I am saying that they're low on staff. They're not going to, he goes, you're a taxpayer. You own it. Protect yourself. I was like, holy shit. So that's crazy, right? And so I just was like, dude, it's wild, right? But I mean,
crazier things have happened, but yeah.
So that's a real life situation that, and there was 2 other run-ins at that location that I had to actually draw on some people.
Jesus.
And one of my really good friends who was on SWAT and ex-military, he was like, bro, he was like, you a bitch, because if you draw, you might as well just shoot it. Because they're trained, military's trained to if you pull your gun, you'd be willing to fire that thing.
Right.
And I was like, bro, I tried to give him, he was like, Don't give them a chance. What happens if in that split second you gave them that chance and then they come? And I was like, dude, I know. So it's super scary, right? The whole vibe of that place was super scary, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't like it. It was hard for me to hire coaches because clients and members felt safe with me. I'm 6'5", 250, bald-headed, bearded guy.
Right.
I know how to be intimidating. I can do the thing. I can be loud. I can get people away. They're cool with me. But if I hire one of my, like, what am I going to do? Hire a 5'6" female coach to come in, and they're not going to feel the same. They're not going to feel the same with that vibe, right? And so the biggest thing that helped me grow was literally shutting that down and moving to this location in a safer place where it's a nicer vibe, right? You can actually be a business.
Was that move expensive?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
And it's also 20 minutes from other spot. So I had 100 people and it was just me coaching.
Yeah.
I had 2 other coaches at the time. So it was me and 2 other people. And we had like 100 clients. And when I moved up here, I was like, all right, I'll move. Everyone's like, yeah, we'll stay with you. Lost 80% of clientele right off the move. So not only did my rent 5x from what it was, my membership subtracted by 80%. So I went to 20 members. One of those coaches left and the other coach stayed on and he helped me grow this thing. But I negotiated 6 months of like abated rent here. And I was like, bro, we got 6 months to get back to 100 people. We did it in 2.
How?
Nailed it. Literally, boots on the ground, dude. I walked these neighborhoods. If you go outside of here, there's really nice neighborhoods in this area. I walked up and down the neighborhoods of blocks, streets, knocking on doors.
Yeah.
And I still got door flyer. I printed off like 3,000 of them things.
Okay.
Just hand them out all over the place. Get people in the door, man. Pumping on social media, telling people to bring their friends in, doing right by people. I coached a lot of athletes, and so I coached a lot of kids that would drive from Round Rock to my Austin spot. And so then it was easier for me to acquire all these Round Rock boys. Was able to hire Coach Danielle. She's amazing, been with me since day one. She helped bring in a lot of people too. She's been in the fitness industry 10 plus years. Coach Luke, the head of our sports performance, he was another amazing key player in this. Been coaching athletes for years in his garage, same as me, right?
Yeah.
He just, the trouble with that is parents want a consistent spot. They want a place where they can always go, not like a random park. So when I brought him on, we saw eye to eye on everything. And so he was like, fucking, I'm in, baby. Yeah. And so he's grown now we train more athletes than we do adults now.
That's interesting.
And it's because of him, right? And then, we just hire good people.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a lot of turnover with coaches, man. My coaches that have been here now, they've been here for 2.5, 3 years almost.
That's awesome.
Like I'm trying to get a team that like stays with it, man.
Yeah.
And so I don't, if my coaches, if they bring people in, they get commission off their people they bring in.
Yeah.
They get paid more for bringing their own clients in. I pay them far above industry standard. You go to like a Gold's Gym, pay you like $9 a session, boy. Ooh. I just interviewed a guy today.
That's tough.
They paid him $9 for a one-on-one session that Gold's Gym was charging $75 for, and they told him if you sell him supplements, we'll give you commission on it. Ask him how much money he saw from his commission checks that he sold. Over $20,000 in supplement sales. Guess how much they paid him?
$500. Zero?
Didn't sell a dime from it.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is like, once again, if you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. So if I tell my coaches, walk your ass down the street, leave these flyers on the door, bring people in, and I will pay you for that, I will do that. I have physically done that, and I will do that. I will pay you to do that. You know what I mean? Like, no, so I just,
And you're doing all this while also raising how many daughters? 3?
I mean, I got 4 daughters now.
$4? Holy shit. I think last time I saw you had 3.
I did have 3.
Oh my God.
I did.
How does that feel, your fire?
Man, Charlie was born in Florida. She's my oldest.
Yeah.
So coming from Florida, right? So in a 6-month time frame, now get this life event. Okay. So I'm in Florida, right? So not only did I get a promotion, be head trainer at a studio in South Tampa, bought a house in Florida, got married in the backyard of that house in Florida.
Hell yeah, save some money.
Got another promotion to come to Texas. So I quit that job, different company, same Orange Theory, but different ownership. Quit that one. Had to sell my house for a loss because it's only in 2 months, right? 3 months, right? Had a kid, then moved cross country to Texas in a 6-month time frame. How's that, dude?
I don't know. You tell me. That sounds terrible. That sounds
it just tells me that like
awful.
If there was ever a reason for my wife to leave me, it would have been then. So I'm probably going to save a lot on the divorce fees later. She's not going to leave. You know?
Fair.
So if it was ever going to happen, it might have been in the home sale or the moving her across country or the making her give birth and then drive across country. It might have been one of those factors.
Okay.
But she's been nothing but supportive, man. She's the one, told me to go after and grind. So
Absolutely.
like for my second daughter, Everly, we were at the first location. It seems like every time I've wanted to expand, we had another kid. So in my life, when I want to expand things, that's how
you got to stop doing things that cost you an exorbitant amount of money. If anything that I gathered after this conversation, because kids aren't cheap.
Yeah, no. Do you have kids?
No.
You want one? I got 4 of them. Just have one.
I think we do, but that's the one thing that I'm trying to understand when I have these conversations is like,
how old are you?
I'm 38.
38?
Yeah.
We got it. Come on, man.
I know. Trust me.
I'll give you one for the weekend. You just,
no,
we got a 1-year-old.
That'll deter me from wanting to have a kid. I promise you. It's just that's what I'm trying to understand is like the cost of doing business, what I need to make, and then to throw a kid in the mix. All right, then that needs to establish its own price point. And so that's where I'm trying to make it all make sense for me.
Yeah.
Is like you have this business generating revenue, but you also have 4 kids.
We have things taking revenue.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what. To be 100% honest with you, nothing will drive you more than wanting to provide for something else, right?
Right. Yes.
If it was just me, right? I don't need a lot of money to live off of. Bro.
Very true.
If I wasn't married and have kids, I would live right here. Mm-hmm. I have a TV, shower, fridge, microwave. This pulls out into a bed.
You're set.
The hell else do I need?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need anything else. Right. I wouldn't have a car. I'd just be here. So I wouldn't need to make a lot. Mm-hmm. But, when you want to get married, if you want to have a house, if you want to buy your wife things, if you want to take trips with your family, if you want to have kids, the biggest things that are going to want to help you push yourself and make more income are those things. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I don't think I'd be where I'm at today without my wife and kids because, like, I wanted to work harder for them. And now I want to work harder for this business because I want my coaches' families to prosper off of Better You too. Mm-hmm. Like I want them to make more so they can provide more for their family and have more fun with them. And they enjoy this. And Better You be's in business for the next 20 years. Yeah. We just all do this and we love it. And kids grow up in it.
Yeah.
That's super motivating.
That's a hell of a dream. And that's
so
awesome.
like, dude, that's what I want. Right. And that's something I didn't even realize when I first started because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
I just was in it for me.
Yeah.
And so like, anyway, but I would tell you, man, like you're never ready to have a kid. You're never ready to spend money on something that isn't you, right? But you learn to like, once you spend it or once you have the kid, you're like, how do I make more of that?
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also cool for your family and your wife and kids to see you like, leave the house and go hunt, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that I'm trying to understand.
Gives you purpose.
It does. I'm just trying to understand what can I sacrifice so that I can live the life that I want to live. And to your point, I don't need much. I need golf. I need beer. I need my friends and family, and that's it. Family, then friends, obviously. So that I think that's a common thing that I'm finding amongst entrepreneurs is that yes, they're sacrificing something, but they're also putting so much energy into this dream, to this life that they want to live. And ultimately, from the conversations that I had, they've all been very successful. Now, they might go through the throes of life and, life might hand them a shitty hand at a time, but they get through that adversity because they have a belief in a dream and they have goals to achieve. So that's a common thing.
Yeah. The biggest thing, one of the crazy thing is like, what's up, Jen? Come on in this thing.
Hello.
You want to be on camera? Jen, get your ass in here. You can come and get it. You good?
Yeah, you're good.
We'll edit you out.
No,
come on. You're good. This is Coach Jen, ladies and gentlemen. Here she comes. She's
about
coming
to
across.
pass
Get in the camera. Get in front of the camera,
I
Jen.
don't think you can make
Jen.
Oh my God.
Oh, she's been working out, ladies
I
and
did
gentlemen.
not expect
If you
her
didn't
to-
know, Coach Jen is a grandma.
Really? I don't think you want to say that to women, or is that?
She is a
thing?
grandma. No, you are a Gigi. You're pro-life. You are currently a Gigi.
You could cross right in front, so you
get in front of the camera, Jen. Say hi. Oh my!
This is quite an experience to watch.
This is actually not happening. We're just faking this right now.
That takes talent. Bravo.
That was actually really good.
Good job.
That was awesome. Love you, Jen. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so we're well over an hour, and kind of last question here: what would you tell Elvis at the start of his football career? Like, what is one piece of advice that you could give him after going through all of this? It's a tough question. Take your time. I'll just go over the books that you have on your shelf, which I'm surprised you read.
I have a whole nother bookshelf in there. Go and check out.
That's impressive.
There's some better books on the other side. What I would tell myself, man, I tell you what, some of the best quote, one of my favorite quotes, and this is on our webpage for my favorite quote, dude. It's if life were easy, or not life, but the temptation is life. But if it were easy, it being whatever you want to apply to. If football was easy, if life was easy, if only the gym was easy, if it were easy, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great. Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me, man. That is a quote from A League of Their Own, softball movie about women playing softball.
What's baseball?
Baseball. My bad. Yeah,
God.
my daughter's a softball player. So, okay, women playing baseball,
which is a great movie to show your
super
daughters.
Sexist, Elvis, super sexist. Can't do that. It's 2026. You're an asshole. Okay, move on. Anyway, so League of Their Own. Shout out to my dad for showing me that way back when, and I've loved that quote from Tom Hanks forever.
Yep.
And I love it. And so, with that, like, just with everything, man, another great quote from a basketball coach that I heard this online. Someone was like, hey, you don't, like, the hard doesn't get easier. You just get better at dealing with hard things. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing gets easy. None of this is easy to do. Mm-hmm. You just get better at handling hard situations. Yeah. You get callous to the hard, right? So, like, those seasons that you were talking about, they talk about the ups and downs. It's just like investing, dude. You put 10 grand into something, but you got to look at it over the course of like 30 years. Dude, it's not always up. It's like sometimes up, and then you go back down. You go back, but you never dip. My lowest, right? Every time I get a low, it never goes lower than my lowest. Yeah. Because you've already learned and developed skills to never go back down to your worst. You have these, like, it's like the curve of learning and growing and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And it's just kind of like, eventually it works good, but you're always going to have to, there's always going to be seasons of sacrifice. Dude, when people tell me about like balance is complete shit. There's a book up there in that room called Off Balance on Purpose. Read that. So like, this is like, that was a speech my old Pat Ivy, my mentor, he used to tell me, dude, fuck work-life balance. I'm in it for work-life integration. Yeah. And that has stuck with me. So that's why I'm super blessed and fortunate to be able to have my wife stay at home. But also when she stays at home, she runs a class for moms and babies here. So she has a way to generate income while being a stay-at-home mom. She's also a coach. She coached this morning. So she coached. My two oldest daughters, they train here. Their friends train here in our JV performance. So like, work-life balance is terrible, dude. If you balance it, you're never going to give, like, dude, if you had, like, think of like a complete balance, right? You're never giving more to your family, your work, yourself, nothing. Everything's balanced. Some seasons you got to give all to the work or else it's going to fail. Yep. Some seasons I got to give it all to my family or else they're going to leave me. Yep. They're going to figure out you hear those stories, those businessmen are like, dude, if you think I'm at this point in the game of being in business 6 years, I know exactly how to go get a loan. I know exactly how to hire people. I know exactly how to find real estate for the cheap. I know exactly how to acquire debt and just blow it up to 10 locations. But in order to do that, I'd have to sacrifice my family. I'd miss softball, basketball. I'd miss date nights with my wife. I'd miss them growing up. And I'm not going to fucking do that. I've seen too many entrepreneurs do that and regret it. And like, it's like, what did you work so hard to become this multimillionaire for? Your kids don't even know who you are. So like, I always said I'm never going to do that. And so like, I'm with the slower build over the long haul. Cause this isn't something like, I told myself a long time ago, man, because my financial guy asked me, he's like, hey, if you were to retire, like if you were to win the lottery, and this is a great question you ask yourself, dude, if you won $20 million tomorrow and you never have to work again, what would you do? And my answer to that, you know what I say?
Build a gym.
I go coach out of my garage or backyard again, or I would go coach at a high school and I coach their weight room because I don't need the money. Yeah. So what would you do if you didn't need the money? I'm already doing what I would do if I didn't need it. So like, what's the point of me trying to like build this and sell it? I don't want to ever sell it.
Yeah.
I want to keep.
No, I get it.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, it never gets easier.
Right.
You just deal with it easier.
Okay.
You get better at dealing with the problems and the issues. And you just, when you come to terms with like, there's always going to be some shit that happens. I'm always going to wake up. There's going to be something, but like, whatever. That's just, dude, think about this. Would you rather be bored, have nothing going on? That's a worse spot to be in. Imagine just not having nothing. There's only so much golf you can do, man.
Yeah.
Dude, there's got to be something that you do that provides purpose for you. Because the second I've talked to a handful of guys who big in the tech, we're in a big tech space here, sold their tech businesses for multi-millions, and they're 37 and they quote unquote retired. They were like, man, imagine that'd be the dream, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. You'd be bored in a year. You say, but see, like you're so in the thick of it, like the grind, you'd be like, dude, I wouldn't. You would.
Okay.
You would want to go. You'd want to go
you.
interview somebody.
Yeah.
You'd want to come do
this.
this.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
To your point, I am like I'm not making much money now, but it's sustainable. It's bills are getting paid, and I'm having fun doing it because I've worked a corporate job, and I hated my fucking life.
Hell yeah,
so
dude.
much so my wife was like, "Yeah, if you want to start your own thing, I would much rather have you do that."
Yeah,
because you're coming home and acting like a bitch, and I don't want to hear you complain anymore.
Hey, a wife will put you in a place like that, bro. That's mine did.
She will.
That's what it is.
Yeah. She's like, okay, I got us. I can help support us until you're ready to start contributing again. But yeah, I don't want to see you like this anymore. I'm like,
yeah, man.
Right.
It's
let's get it.
Yeah, go do that thing, man. It's keep doing what you're doing, man.
Okay, same for you.
It's all the foundation, bro.
Yeah. Well, Elvis, that is more than an hour. I got so many stories.
Hell, man.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time, for your efforts, and just for your energy and all the stuff that you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
I think you already know this. You're reaping the benefits out of everything of your life, and you're cultivating something really, really awesome here. So
awesome.
Again,
thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Bye.